Hello, I'm Olivia, the Bishop of Reading. I'm here in Glasgow for the COP26 climate conference, and today, Saturday, is the day of the mass mobilisation. There are going to be huge marches up and down the country and indeed up and down the world, I think about 200 of them, and I'm joining the mass mobilisation here in Glasgow in Kelvin Grove Park. We're going to walk all the way across the city. We're expecting thousands and thousands of people to join us, and I'm going to be walking with the Faith Block. It's a grim day in Glasgow. It's raining, it's cold, there's a nasty wind, but I'm not expecting that to damp anybody's spirits.
I've been here in Glasgow for a week as part of the kind of faith block, and there's been a really powerful sense that faith groups are working together across the tradition. So I've been to the Glasgow Central Mosque for the launch of the Green Hill Mosque. We've had some great panels. We've got Buddhists and Christians and Jews and Hindus and Sikhs and Muslims. I'm hoping that today there'll be a really strong voice from the faith leaders, and I know that we're all going to be marching together. And I think just the more we can raise the voice of faith groups working for climate justice, the better.
I'm Steve Huttlesby, I'm Policy Advisor with the Joint Public Issues Team. This last week I've spent some time with government delegations in the Glasgow zone. What we're trying to do there is to represent the voices of the many organisations which are involved with their governments across the world. And when they hear from us in discussions in there, what they're really hearing is the cheering and the protest of people out here on the streets who have gathered for this march today.
When do we want it?
But this is an important COP, and we hope that there can be some progress in many ways, but we certainly hope that we can move forward on net zero emissions and loss of damages. We hope that there can be some progress on that.
Hello to you all. There's been a slight delay. We're standing here in the glorious weather of Glasgow as we are preparing to set off on the march right through the city to remind everyone that this is not simply to do with those in high positions having conversations. This is about the people coming together to say this needs to change. And I'm with the faith group, and so it continues on from what we've been doing all week, where all faiths are coming together, just because in fact this is an issue for everybody. So as you can see, it's not the warmest of times in Glasgow, but the hat's keeping me warm, and here we go, we might be on the move. So blessings to you and prayers for us. Thank you.
My name's Josh Evans. I'm part of the Young Christian Climate Network. I'm here with the pilgrim of the relay to COP26. We're here for climate justice. You know, without fair finance, countries that have been disproportionately affected but without the resources to cope will go further into debt. And you know, as Christians who believe in justice, we just can't be part of that.
I'm Maureen Sire, Director of Interfaith Scotland, and I'm here today with all these amazing faith communities. It's a huge multi-faith march for climate justice.
Well, it's been an hour since the mass mobilisation moved off from Kelvin Grove Park, and the fact that the faith block still hasn't moved is just a sign of how very many thousands of people there are on this march. It's an extraordinary number, an extraordinary manifestation of people's absolute outrage at what's going on, and clear message to the people inside the blue zone.
So this is Gordon from the All-Africa Conference of Churches. Gordon, tell us why you're here today.
We're here to demand and to bring our voices to the streets, to demand climate justice now and now and now. We are feeling the impact intensely and heavily in Africa. Droughts are becoming more intense, cyclones are becoming even more intense. So we need climate justice now.
At least the rain has stopped temporarily, and we had a wonderful moment when there was a rainbow, which was a real sign of hope and of God's covenant. We're now just about to come level with the blue zone, which is where the negotiations are happening, and the idea is that when we reach that point we should stop making a noise and actually all fall silent in recognition of the seriousness of what's going on, and as a kind of lament about the state in which we have left the earth. So I'm hoping that will happen, but it's going to be quite difficult to shut up the voices of this crowd because they're quite determined to keep shouting. It's getting cold, it's getting dark, it's getting windy, and nothing can deter the people who are on the streets of Glasgow today. It's an extraordinary sight. Well, here we are. We've arrived in Glasgow Green at the end of quite a long day, quite a lot of hours spent on our feet. And Glasgow Green is absolutely packed with people. It's quite extraordinary how many people have been on this march. I've been on a good number of marches in my life, and I don't think I've ever been on one as big as this. It's really amazing how many different faith groups, civil society groups, climate activist groups have joined together, all with banners saying slightly different things, but all very much aimed at the same outcome. I think it's probably been a pretty successful day in terms of raising the voices of the people, and I think in terms of the faith bloc, that's been a wonderful witness to faith solidarity and our united purpose in solving the climate and environmental issues. I'm really hoping that those negotiators inside the Blue Zone will have a chance to not only to listen to this voice, but to really hear it and take it into account as they make their crucial decisions in the coming days.